Congratulations. You made the jump. Quantum shifting is not easy. And if you're getting this message, you did it, kid. Quantum shifting, timeline jumping, it's part of our everyday lives. And over the course of our ascension journey, we are going to jump timelines. We are going to quantum shift. And it's not an easy process. We're going to do it several times. I'm back here where I left a message several years ago. 2 times, baby. Jump the timeline to reflect back on the other side. If you're getting this message, you did it. You made the jump. When you're in the process of jumping timelines, it's going to get real loud. It's going to get real scary. But you can't get scared while you're mid-jump. And that's the problem. Many people get caught up mid-jump. Your reality is a frequency. It's a broadcasted frequency, and you're picking up a new frequency, and it has to become the dominant frequency. You are living a life and, certain attributes, certain ways, certain everyday life concepts, they were the norm, and they're no longer the norm. Lack and limitation fell off your timeline. Loneliness fell off your timeline. Now you're the embodiment. Once you embody love, abundance, happiness, there's going to have to be a shift, because in this universe, when we think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration, we take back control of our everyday lives. Hello everyone, I am Michael, and I help guide people on the evolutionary journey to come all the way back from the other side. God works with compare and contrast, and you're going to have to go through some lower lows in order to experience some higher highs. And that's why quantum jumping, it's not so simple. And a lot of people, they're going to get scared. And if it was easy, there's an old school phrase, Light Warriors, if it was easy, everyone would do it. But not everyone is capable of doing it. And that's why, as I've been sharing for years, you're going to have to get over the fear, the lower states of consciousness, the fear, the guilt, and the shame. These are the guard dogs, if you will, of that timeline. And that's what's going to keep you tethered. These are the frequencies that keep us tethered to a certain state of consciousness, to a certain reality. And if you can't push through the fear, or maybe you're given some guilt. And that's why I gave you this very important lesson. We are leaving a life of obligation, and we're headed to a life of creation. It comes from a different place when you're actually creating your everyday life and you're not living simply off of subconscious programs. And that's what the majority of the world is doing. You are deliberately shifting your life. So once you go on this journey and you made that conscious decision to take that first step, and it's going to come from a very special place, because the reality, you keep participating in it. And it comes from an internal choice where you say to yourself, I refuse to do this anymore. And I left a full video on that. You could refer to that as part 1 of this journey. Once you make that internal shift, the external reality must change. But the problem is you have to achieve the dominant frequency. And a lot of people, that's why you're going to have to be strong. That's why you need to be a light warrior. Are you a light warrior, or are you an NPC? You have to be a light warrior. You got to be strong. You're going to have to push through, because I'm telling you, it ain't easy. This was a different season for me. And, I'm sharing about my everyday life to help you learn about your quantum shifts. to learn about your timeline jumps. I left a message out here 2 years ago. The rapture on the other side. Now, some people might take more of a biblical approach, but you might go about your journey and you might see people, things, and situations disappear, okay? You could have people in your life, they could be close relationships or just friendships, acquaintances, and people simply disappear because they chose, it's a free will decision to raise your frequency. And you have to keep going no matter what. If you turn around, if you go back to the lower frequencies, you don't make the jump. It's not easy making the jump. It's not easy quantum shifting. So as I left that message 2 years ago, now I'm back to this same spot. And now I'm leaving a different message with more real life evidence, with first-hand experience for the world to understand. God is going to put you in seasons. And just because you did one jump, just because you quantum shifted one time, you know, that was maybe a little trial stage, if you will. And I can reflect on my journey and what I did for 2 years. And that was a certain level. And God let you have that experience. But now it's time to level up again. So there is going to be a pullback. Okay, there's going to be a pullback. Your everyday life, it's going to get real quiet. And the more you become a professional at this, like I am, you're going to not wait for God to prune your everyday life. You're going to do it yourself. I left a message that the training wheels are off, and that's what God wants for each and every one of us, because it comes from a state that's much more powerful. It comes from a place that's more free, if you will. Free as a bird, okay? And now you become the hunter, all right? So just like this hawk is hunting these fish right now, you have to go out with a different energy and you have to start hunting. You're the leader, and you are now experiencing a new timeline, a new reality, where in the past, you know, you might have you were surviving and you might have had experiences for a while where you had to overcome. You know, you were put at the bottom. People were taking advantage of you and you had to fight for everything just to survive. But now you become the hunter and now you're given the momentum. But that's why you go through trial stages, as I have gone through. You sit with it. God's going to let you sit with it. Let it marinate. And what are you going to learn? And then there's going to be a pullback. Then there's going to be a prediction. I'm going to give you a prediction, right? I love this prediction, right? A Clubber Lang was right. What's your prediction? Pain. Pain is going to come. You're going to be riding. You're going to say, you know what? Oh, yeah, I'm at this level. And then all of a sudden, a deep pain is going to come. A pain like you've never experienced in your life. But that pain is a catalyst event. And then this is what God wants for each and every one of us. How are we going to respond? How are we going to respond from that pain? Are you going to rise or are you going to fall? And this is how we quantum leap with something that is inside the Sacred Heart. It's called content of character. It's the same story. The superhero and the supervillain. They're given pain, but the choice inside determines if they become the superhero or the supervillain. Which one are you? Let us know in the comments. We're on a journey. We're here with the light warriors that are flying high like never before. We're taking back our freedom. We are sovereign. And we're living the life that we were destined for. But there is free will. And in order to achieve this destiny, there are things that you're going to have to do. If you're getting this message, you made the jump. Congratulations. How do you know you made the jump? Oh, I'll tell you, Light Warriors. When you go through this process and you're going to feel the internal shifts, okay, because your internal frequency changed. And even though your frequency is not a physical thing, you might experience physical pains in the body, right? And it's you feel this heaviness as you're quantum shifting. And then all of a sudden, you feel lighter and brighter. So emotions, what are emotions? It's energy and motion. And if you're gonna quantum shift to a higher timeline, you can't take some of those lower emotions with you. You're gonna have to leave them, you're gonna have to purge them, you're gonna have to get rid of them. It's not an easy process. So there's gonna come a moment where you feel a lot lighter. This is an internal GPS navigation system, okay? No one's gonna tell you, you're gonna know. And then you're gonna know that you're quantum shifted. You're gonna feel lighter, you're gonna feel more positive. But I'm here to tell you, these energies that you've been carrying, they're not only from you, they're from your family lineage and from the collective. So if you are deliberately, through your free will, taking this journey, if you wanted to ascend, okay, you're gonna have to go through this process. And on the other side, right, just like I shared 2 years ago, on the other side, now we're back. You experience greatness. It's time to have the abundance. It's time to have the love. If you're getting this message, congratulations, you made the jump. And not everyone is able to do it. Because fear makes people turn around. And that's why I'm leaving this message for millions of people. If you hear this, it's going to be very scary. You're going to say everything about the reality. It's going to literally look like the opposite of where you're going. But that is the old frequency that is coming from your subconscious. Your old self knows that it's dying off and it's trying to hold on for dear life. And I told you the greatest fight, there's only one thing that you have to focus on. You have to take down, you have to eviscerate the previous version of yourself. There's nobody outside of you. It is one versus one. And when this new frequency becomes the dominant frequency, you're going to feel this shift inside of you. And once you have achieved it to be the dominant frequency, then you have made the timeline jump. Then you have quantum shifted the reality. Hold the line. Hold the frequency for a sustained period of time. And that is the key, because it must become. The hawks are flying like it's unbelievable. That's the problem, is because people want the quick fix. People want instant gratification. People want the easy way out, if you will. There ain't nothing easy about quantum shifting. There ain't nothing easy making the timeline jump. And I'm here to tell you, when you make this jump, there is an abundance of fish by these hawks today. It's unbelievable. I like to work with nature. Do you like my videos out in nature? Please click the like button and click the subscribe button. We have daily videos, 9 a.m. Eastern time, to help you become the greatest version of yourself. And sometimes I go out in nature and they put on a show for me. They're putting on a show. The hawks are hawking, we're hunting. It's time to hunt. It's time to hunt. It's time to move forward. It's time to take what is your rightful place in this world. In a world full of fake, have the courage to be authentic. And when you have that courage to be authentic, you're going to say, you have to be authentic with yourself. And you're going to say, what am I actually living? And am I going to continue to live my life this way? Or am I going to have the experiences that my heart is calling me for? A lot of people, they self-sabotage themselves because they had an experience and they were living a loop. And that was maybe the previous version of yourself. Maybe that was your past, and you're simply looping the past. And you think that the familiar past is going to become your future. But this comes from a place where your frequency shifts and you know that it's already done. You know that you made the jump. Today, we're out here on the front line and we know that we've made the jump. Time and time again, you're going to have to perform at your finest in inopportune conditions. You know, this past year, it hasn't been easy for me, but I performed at my finest in inopportune conditions. When you walk with the pain, a lot of people in this world, they will never understand the pain that you walk with. You're going to have to push through, because on the other side is your new reality. It's the love, it's the abundance, it's the life that you've always dreamed of. Sometimes we have to go on the longest road to greatness, and that's what I've done over the course of my journey. Compare and contrast. Live on both timelines. Have the experience. Because when God does this to you, you will have an appreciation. You will have an appreciation for that authentic love. You will have an appreciation for that vocation, not a job. And you're going to do it every single day. And you're going to slide over. You're going to shift from NPC mode to creator mode. And that's what I do. I've been on this journey, and it comes from a different place when you begin to create. Living your everyday life. Flying high like these hawks in the sky. So I hope that this message resonates with you. And remember, the seeds that you plant today will not bear fruit today. Full circle. Remember who you are and the authenticity that comes from the sacred heart. This is the journey of our everyday lives. I love each and every one of you. You got to remember what got you started. Remember who you are. Remember that you have the power inside of you. Remember, every day is another opportunity. And remember, we cannot control what is around us. However, we can control from within. Be conscious that you had the power inside of you all along. Use this to raise your vibration and increase your electromagnetism. Life is so much better when we are all together. If you find this message inspiring or know someone that could benefit from it, please share this message. Dear ones, I am Michael. Find us in the 5th dimension. Have a wonderful day living your everyday life. I created this all, and all I did was keep going, no matter what. Keep moving forward. God is going to put you on the longest journey to greatness. The universe is going to send you twists and turns. A trip is planned. We are headed to destination unknown. I wonder what I'll do with the rest of my everyday life. We made it. This is your High Commander, and real leadership is on the ground. I made the jump with all of you. I am the defender of our everyday lives. Victory of the light.